it's actually something that I've been struggling with now that I've finished the trail, coming back to society, readjusting to like going through cities and being surrounded by so many people and like all these concrete boxes all around everywhere that we live in. And it's just kind of a surreal experience because when you spend that long in nature, something beautiful really starts to happen. And I would describe that as your mind just starting to open. And when we're in everyday society, your brain knows how to tune out all the things that aren't important. It's tuning out any background sounds, any whatever. You're not actively perceiving everything that's in your environment. But when you have this deep sense of quiet and expansiveness, especially I think the Sierras were a really magical part of the trail for me. I just got to hear absolutely everything around me. And I remember like there was this one day where I was just taking a break, sitting on a rock, looking up at some trees, and I heard kind of a rushing in the distance. And my first thought was like, is that a road? And I realized it was actually like a giant river that wasn't that far from me. And the fact that all that I can hear and all in my surroundings was just different facets of nature is just so beautiful. And now coming back and being off the trail, places that I used to find like calming or a place where I could accomplish work now are full of distraction because my brain is perceiving everything around me in a way that I just learned to tune out in the past.
Did you have any moments of, I guess, revelation of just, I don't know, moments where they just stick out in your mind of particular awe of what's around you?
Yeah, in the Sierras especially, we would get up. So I guess for anyone that's listening to this and doesn't have experience hiking or mountaineering, the Sierras, when you entered on the PCT, there is snow, so you have to bring like an ice axe, you have to bring micro spikes, and you want to start hiking early in the morning because early in the morning it's cooler. The sun hasn't hit the side of the mountain where the snow is, so it's harder, and that's when your micro spikes are going to be the most effective. And you don't want a post hole, which is where like essentially you step and you fall through the snow, and it's can be really really slow going. So we would essentially get up sometimes like 3 o'clock in the morning, start hiking, get over these mountain passes that were the snowy sections, and it was just really a magical experience to watch the sun rise over the passes. You're starting off, it's dark, you have your headlamp on, you're walking up to these snowy areas. And I was hiking with a few different people at that point because especially when you're doing river crossings, when you're doing like snow sections, it's safer to have other people in case you do need emergency assistance. But wow, I don't even know how to put into words what's out there. It's really beautiful. You get to watch the sun illuminate all of the rocks around you. You watch the mountains change color. You watch everything come alive. And I think truly there's an appreciation to be found in each section of the trail, and each section is so different. And that's one thing I loved about the PCT, and I think is different from some of the other through hikes that are available, is that you get to walk through so many different types of environments. You're starting off in the desert, and then you're in snowy mountains, and then you're in like the alpine lake areas, and then you're in Oregon, and just it's just so different. And I really can't put into words, and I don't think it's totally explainable until you just do it, but I can't recommend it more to anyone. I think it's one of the best things I've done in my life.
Isn't it funny? It's 147 days that you
Hmm.
did the the trail, and it's probably fair to say it's changed your life and your perception of what life is. The overstimulation of just everyday life that we don't even realize, like how you said when you came back to, I guess, normality, you could say you're getting distracted by all these things that we're just used to, which are often conveniences of you can watch TV anywhere in your house, you can go on the internet anywhere, you can do anything you want, you can microwave your food anywhere. All of these little things, the distractions, the easy conveniences that actually take us so far away from nature, from all of these things that then cause a huge amount of anxiety because there's just so many options, there's so many pressures. But it's like pressure to do what? I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's when you're sitting, say, in an alpine clearing next to a lovely river, and you're sitting there, you're just thinking, well, this is where I'm supposed to be. I guess it's interesting how you talk about that sense of peace that you found when you were out there, feeling like this is where you're supposed to be. Not that, oh my goodness, I wonder how many Instagram videos I've missed out on because I've not been able to get signal today. It's interesting, isn't it, how that sense of calm is actually found when you have the least amount of things that you possibly could have.